Hello, listeners, and welcome to today's Cult News segment. I'm your speaker, Casey, host of the Cult Vault podcast, and for today's issue, we are going to have a general roundup of recent cult news. ElectricLit.com has released a piece titled, "As a Cult Survivor, I Found Prince Harry's Spare Surprisingly Relatable." It is a detailed piece by Rebecca Woodward about growing up as a third-generation Jehovah's Witness, with both of her parents having been raised in the fold. She remarks the similarities between not celebrating holidays in a typical manner, having to adorn modest clothing, having your wardrobe dictated to you, and having congregants spy on one another, and how similar her story feels in comparison to the prince's. Is the royal family a cult? Let me know what you think about that. Psychology Today has released a piece titled 12 Signs That Someone May Be Involved with a Cult. The piece details infamous cults and instances where these 12 signs are recognizable within those groups, before breaking down each sign. The article includes sections on love bombing and hate bonding, amongst other things. I will link to each article if you would like to read on, but it is good to see more places exploring the ideas of cults and coercive control, so more people can understand the subject, arm against it, and take preventative measures. For a period of time now, there has been a lengthy rivalry over who will inherit the Charles Manson $1 million estate. According to the ongoing lawsuit, there is one man, aged 62, claiming to be Manson's son, another man claiming to be his grandson, whom Charles Manson's body was released to after he died in prison and was subsequently cremated, and a third party, a memorabilia collector who began writing letters with Manson and, after visiting and becoming friends with the cult leader, was supposedly given a written will from Manson claiming that all of his assets should be handed over to the memorabilia collector after Manson's death. The three-way battle for Manson's estate continues, but Manson was told upon being charged with first-degree murder that he would not be able to make any money whilst in prison. He stole his entire life to make money and to live off of others. He relied on people sending him money when he was in prison. So how is it that Charles Manson has an estate at all? There is another son of Manson's who has washed his hands of the entire situation, claiming he wants nothing to do with any of it and wants to live a quiet life separate from his father's murderous legacy. According to a Neil Blinko article for the Daily Mail Online, some of Manson's belongings, like his guitars, clothes, and other personal jailhouse property that currently sits in boxes at a storage facility, could fetch thousands, perhaps more, from collectors. But likely worth more, up to $1 million according to some estimates, are the rights to his art, journals, and stories which he wasn't allowed to sell, along with royalties on the songs that he wrote, including Look at Your Game Girl, which was recorded by Guns N' Roses on their platinum 1993 album The Spaghetti Incident. He has also recorded songs with the Beach Boys and Marilyn Manson. This court case goes back and forth and is quite convoluted in terms of supposed evidence, adoptions, birth certificates, the 60s era of free love and people not really knowing who their parents or grandparents are, with requests to order DNA samples and then those requests being denied, and then people trying to take other routes to acquire proof of their relation to Manson. There's a lot of different moving pieces. Many other people have come forward with claims of their own to the estate, but those requests have been denied, leaving only 3 players to battle for the Manson estate. We will keep an eye on this and provide any updates, but should all of that money be considered blood money anyway? Teen Vogue issued an article lately titled, "What is a Cult and Why Do People Join Them?" An insightful piece by Sarah Lee aimed at younger readers, which I personally believe is commendable and something we need to see more of. It details the differences between cults and religions and lists some of the hallmarks of cults, with a segment saying, as sociologist Janja Lalich explained in a TED Ed video, many people join cults because they are looking for a sense of purpose in their lives or because they want to belong, linking readers to invaluable sources throughout, such as Janja's TED Ed talk. It ends with a list of types of cults, which of course is much longer than religious cults, doomsday cults, sex cults, and political cults, but it is a great start to see this information being put out there. On April 4th, CNN aired a special presentation on their channel, the 4-part docuseries titled Heaven's Gate: Cult of Cults. a rerun of a series originally released in 2020, which received positive feedback for its never-before-seen footage and the sensitive manner in which the story was explored. The website states, Heaven's Gate is a thorough examination of the infamous UFO cult through the eyes of its former members and loved ones. What started in 1975 with the disappearance of 20 people from a small town in Oregon ended in 1997 with the largest suicide on US soil and changed the face of modern New Age religion forever. This 4-part docuseries uses never-before-seen footage and first-person accounts to explore the infamous UFO cult that shocked the nation with their out-of-this-world beliefs. And that is the end of this general cult news update. If you find this content helpful or interesting, please consider subscribing to and sharing the show. Join me tomorrow for more cult news. I'm your speaker, Casey, host of the Cult Vault podcast.